the situation on the mountain has greatly improved, and Americans should be very proud of our efforts. Because of the skill and professionalism of our military and the generosity of our people, we broke the ISIL siege of Mount Sinjar, we helped vulnerable people reach safety, and we helped save many innocent lives. Because of these efforts, we do not expect there to be an additional operation to evacuate people off the mountain, and it's unlikely that we're going to need to continue humanitarian airdrops on the mountain. The majority of the military personnel who conducted the assessment will be leaving Iraq in the coming days.
If one were to view the actions taken by President Barack Obama with regard to Iraq, there is the possibility that one might raise an eyebrow or two and wonder about the specific actions taken. Were they truly in the best interests of America, the Middle East, and those who may be called on again to fight yet another ground war in Iraq? Fair to say, some would say it looks like a purposeful map for defeat. Others would counter a president seeking to lose a war is utter nonsense. Welcome to Midpoint, the author of Take No Prisoners, the battle plan for defeating the left, who believes the president set out to deliberately lose this war in Iraq. David Horowitz joins us. David, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you. Of course, it's no mystery. He's been running against the war in Iraq since he was a senator. And, pledged to end the war in Iraq as quickly as possible. Did not pay, he played no role in the negotiations over a status of forces agreement, which translated means keeping a major American base in Iraq with 20,000 troops. And everything that he's done since is, he's capitulated in every war, in Afghanistan as well. It's very clear that he wants America to retreat. Look how quickly, first of all, how long it took him to attempt to save Christians. There are hundreds of thousands of Christians who are being slaughtered and driven from their homes in Iraq, and it's been going on for a long time. And this president, who pretends to be a Christian just the way he pretends to be American, has said nothing about it. He hardly mentioned the Christians on the mountain. It was all Yazvida. Obama is an anti-American radical. He comes out of the same movement that actually I did, but I left it and repudiated it, and he never did.
But David, the point here comes up to deliberately losing a war. How would he be deliberately losing a war? That's a harsh claim to make. That certainly cost a lot of lives.
Because the war is with Islamic fanatics who want to kill us. It's not with Al-Qaeda. It's not with ISIS. It's not with Hamas. It's with all of them. And we are in a global war, as Bush defined it in 2001, before the Democrats sabotaged it and pretended it's a criminal operations. What's happening in Iraq, it's not the ground war. What's happening in Iraq is that a barbaric, subhuman, you have to regard these people as subhuman, they behead children, is in the process of acquiring the wealth of Iraq and a full status of an Islamic state. And since their methods are terrorists, their intention is to come here to America and kill Americans. And that's what Obama is now. He's not protecting America. He's not protecting American citizens. That's the problem. People don't mention it. They get involved in all these things like the war in Iraq. When we won the war in Iraq, it's Obama who's lost it. But he did it deliberately, quite deliberately.
David, what would a president have to gain by losing a war deliberately?
If your mindset is anti-American, pro-Muslim, if you're a radical, think Billy Ayers. Obama is what Billy Ayers would look like in the White House if Billy Ayers was smart enough to lie the way Ayers does lie, but he's not as good a liar as Obama. That's the politics. The politics is politics. The politics is one of taking America down, destroying our borders, disregarding and actually destroying our Constitution. The president cannot does it over. I think he's a nihilist. I think the left is nihilistic. They don't think that way. They don't think of they're not builders. They're not creators. They're about destroying. What they want to destroy will happen if Israel is destroyed. You will just have a one sea of barbarism in the Middle East. People who are racist, xenophobic, anti-women, and so forth. That's what the Arab Muslim Middle East is. So what does the left have in mind when it wants to help Hamas destroy Israel? They don't have anything positive in mind, and neither does Obama. And Obama, of course, is such an anti-Jewish, anti-Israel as he is an anti-American president. He stopped military aid to Israel. Now, what does that do? It just helps Iran, Hezbollah, just go through it. The Muslim Brotherhood, which he already armed. This is a disastrous. People don't realize what a catastrophe the Democratic Party and the Obama presidency are.
With about a minute left, your book, Take No Prisoners, The Battle Plan for Defeating the Left, you talk about how Republicans have to punch them in the mouth, specifically when you speak about Democrats. Is this something that they need to use, this specific issue and what's going on here?
Yes. Obama has the blood of those Christians on his hands. What is he doing? He's the leader of the most powerful nation in the world, and he's done nothing to save the Christians, nothing to prevent the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda from overwhelming the Middle East. His intervention in Libya has turned Libya over to Al-Qaeda. This is a disaster, what's going on, and Republicans are tongue-tied. Why aren't they saying this?
The book, once again, is Take No Prisoners, The Battle Plan for Defeating the Left. David, thank you so much for joining us. We'll look forward to doing it again.
Thank you.
All right. Next hour on Midpoint, from both sides of the issue, putting the government to good use and creating laws to tackle voter fraud. And after the break, the great American knee-jerk. And one man who has long known how to stop it from happening. He has said it many times. He has professed it many times. He actually has a tremendous amount of experience when it comes to dealing in protests that include violence. But his way is perhaps the way we should be looking at. That and a whole lot more coming up when Midpoint continues.